This is Jordan with Intuitive Mountain Biking, and today I'm in beautiful sunny North Portland, Kenton district, and I'm going to show you a method where you can progressively and incrementally train your body on how to do a track stand. This is all part of my Go Slow to Get Fast series. Alright, so what is a track stand? Basically, staying in one place on your bike without putting a foot down. This momentary pause could last a couple seconds or as long as you can do it. So what are we doing mechanically on the bike in order to hold it in place? Well, a couple of things. First off, we cant our front wheel to one side. This breaks the plane of the bike and it allows us to kind of roll in place front to back. Also, you'll put downward pressure on your forward foot and your hips stay centered between the bike and can move back and forth depending on which way your weight needs to go. Additionally, you can use your brakes to help stop you or keep you in place. And again, that forward foot with the downward pressure can even counteract against the brakes to kind of keep you rocking back and forth in place. So we're not just going to jump into this and try to do a track stand on a flat surface in the hardest of conditions. Instead, we are going to layer things up, starting from the ground up. And what this allows is a progression where you can learn slowly and you can learn incrementally and you can build the balance and skill in order to eventually be able to do this just about anywhere. But practicing in a good parking lot, it's a great place to start. Then you start looking around town and you see all kind of places that you could just urban ride around and practice this and improve your skill so you can do it later on the trail. Level 1, handlebar end wall stand. So you're going to need to find a relatively flat spot with an adjacent vertical wall. Any kind of flat surface is good. And what you're going to do is parallel to the wall, you're going to pedal up, come to a complete stop with your handlebar end resting against the wall. Once you're steady and ready, bounce off and pedal away. I'll demonstrate this a couple times. Some things to keep in mind: you'll obviously need some brake control and timing, and you'll also want to put pressure on your forward foot. A little bit of downward pressure is going to help keep you from rolling away. As a variation, you can find maybe something slimmer than a wall, like a pole. You can kind of increase the difficulty a bit. Level 2, tire wall stand. Okay, so this is going to be very similar, but instead of our handlebar end, we're going to use our front tire. You'll notice we're taking away support from the top down. So now your only contact point with a vertical surface is just your front tire. I'll demonstrate this a couple times, but you can really come to a stop and lock in that front tire against the wall. And again, you're going to use your forward foot pressure to prevent you from rolling backwards a bit. You can use your brakes as well. So we're training our body in balance, in all these little micro adjustment movements. If you're kind of struggling here, feel free to drop back down to the handlebar end wall stand. Level 3, tire curb stand. Okay, so you find a level spot with an adjacent curb, and we're going to do the same thing with our front tire, but now we're only touching down very low on the front tire. What this is doing is, again, it's lowering the fulcrum to where you're really becoming more adept at balancing on a surface that doesn't have a whole lot of support from the sides. You should try it to your left, you should try it to your right. You'll notice I'm really good to my left when I tilt the wheel to the left. The right, not quite as much. Can't quite hold that as long, so I'm working on it. As a variance on this one, you can find a shorter curb. This curb is a little angled, and that makes it a little bit harder. You can find as a variance maybe an uneven curb-like surface. You practice against that. Another thing is you could use a pole. That makes it a little more of a challenge. Again, try it to the left, try it to the right. Level 4, incline stand. Okay, so I found this little tiny incline here, but really any incline would do, a driveway, anything like that. So now we've taken what was a curb, and really it's more of gravity that is going to want to roll you backwards. And you can use your brakes as well as that good old pressure, downward pressure on the front foot, and that's going to keep you from rolling backwards. You'll notice we're kind of like free floating a bit now. We're not locked into one particular spot. Okay, this is a little drainage ditch. So again, any tiny little road imperfection or lip to a driveway or any kind of variance that you can basically use to push off of. So gravity is going to want to kind of roll me backwards, and I can put that downward pressure on the forward foot, and that's going to keep me in place. Once again, I'm not so great to the right, but to the left, I've gotten pretty good, if I say so myself. Okay, don't get cocky. Alright, so you'll notice you can try sitting down, you can try standing up. I have my dropper seat post down in this instance. Level 5, full-on Trackstand. Okay, full disclosure, I'm kind of cheating here because this is an incline, just slightly, but hey, we work with what we got. So by this point, you'll see we're really free-floating. Also, I seem to get better at going to the right. So at this point, you'll actually start sometimes rolling backwards. But what we've done is we've slowly taken away the support from the top down, and we've rebuilt it with your body in learning balance from the bottom up. And a track stand is, yes, being in one spot, but really just figuring out how to slow down so much that you may even go backwards a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. Again, your body is learning all of these tiny micro movements, your placement fore and aft and side to side in your body weight, and you put it all together.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll do more how-to videos, and I'll talk about intuitive mountain biking and what that means to me. Also, I want to hear from you. I want some comments. Let me know if any of this was helpful to you. Let me know if you already knew how to track stand. Maybe you have another method of learning. Maybe it's better than the method that taught me how to track stand. But either way, I want to be able to interact with you and hear part of your story as I share my story of how I intuitively learned how to mountain bike, self-taught. Thank you again so much for watching, and keep the rubber side down.